Today we're going to put an entire desktop PC in the Pocket of Judgement. We're going to need lube. Hello and welcome to the Pocket Legion. My name is Chris, aka Plastic, and today we're going to take a look at the frankly miraculous Indiegogo GPD WIN gamepad. In 2016, almost out of nowhere, the GPD Gamepad Digital popped up on Indiegogo. So for me, when I first had a look at the website, I kind of thought, this is kind of bullshit. There's no way that the claims on the website were going to be realised in a handheld that only costs, I think, around 300 Canadian. It's frankly seemed impossible at the time. I watched it. I didn't sponsor the campaign. I thought there was too much wrong. It seemed very up in the air. And then suddenly out of nowhere, they went ahead and shipped and proved me wrong. Luckily, there was a huge glut of these things that went on eBay. Value dropped fairly quickly and I was able to pick one up at a reasonable cost. So I think you can pick one up now for around the $250 mark, and there's a new version coming out, and GPD has since launched a new campaign where they're actually making a actual laptop orientated version of this. So it's got a better keyboard and frankly sort of shies away from gaming in favour of actual productivity software. So let's have a look. The box is matte and shiny and beautiful, and it has a little embellished logo on the front of it, Gamepad Digital. And that's pretty much it. Very boutiquey, absolutely not what I've come to expect from handheld packaging. Let's have a little look inside. So, here's our console. Windows 10 key. They actually ship a screen protector with this as well. It's Gorilla Glass screen protector. What's inside here? This is our plug. So it charges via USB 3. So that's really cool. It charges really, really quickly. And inside here we have data connection cables. Oh, and what looked to be a reasonably good quality pair of headphones, but I'll have to test those out. This packaging is absolutely beautiful. It's like matte paper, kind of expensive looking. Okay. And here we have, I presume it will be our guarantee and user manual, of which there isn't a lot of information. Okay, so let's have a look at the console itself. Now, this is a fully fledged Windows 10 PC, and I've tried a bunch of stuff on this. I've had everything from Overwatch to Devil May Cry running on it, and you know, the frame rate's not amazing, but it is perfect for being out on the train. The battery seems to last about 6 to 8 hours on a full charge. And I got this nice kind of graphite grey version of it. So let's have a little look around. It's kind of got a very good quality plastic case, and the bottom of it feels like it's a different, almost like ceramic kind of plastic. There's an interesting little switch underneath here. Something that happened during the Indiegogo campaign was originally there was supposed to be speakers on both sides. At some point during the project they wanted to up the power internally, and that meant that they had more heat to deal with. So they had to retrofit a fan which blows out of the sides. And there's this handy little switch here which means you can turn the fan on and off. It's not controlled by the motherboard. This is a good and a bad thing. I mean, I keep it set to full power all the time, which creates a little bit of fan wear, but it does mean that this thing's pretty good. It runs pretty cool most of the time, unless you're really playing some intensive 3D games. Of course, I found slightly older or vintage games to work better on the system, but most of my Steam library works. So let's just have a quick look around at the buttons. On the back here, we have two different shoulder buttons, which are kind of clicky and nice. A little bit looser than you'd expect for, say, a Nintendo, but still very, very competent controls. There's our USB charging point, HDMI out, memory card slot, USB 3, you'll notice denoted by the little blue interior, and there's our headphone jack. On the front here, there's just a number of like little heatsink slots. In fact, I don't even know if you can see that in the light, but you can see a heat coil underneath there. So, right, power LED. Let's get straight into this. Okay, so a lot more than you would be used to usually with a handheld games console. We've got two analog sticks, a D-pad, and the kind of Xbox style configuration. In fact, we even have an Xbox button there. Left 3 and right 3 are up here on the front. Select and start, and then we've got this interesting little switch here which changes the modes. It actually changes between mouse mode and gamepad mode, which means when you nip into the games you can just whack that on and then use these controls, and it maps pretty well most of the time. Some of the older games it doesn't like quite so much. Okay, so let's turn it on. Here we go, we are launching. And there we go, so we've launched directly into Windows 10, we've connected to Wi-Fi. Let's just log on in. So the keyboard itself has got very nice positive clicky keys underneath it. You're not going to want to type on this for any length of time, but for entering little bits of information or passwords and stuff like that, it's absolutely perfect. And at the moment I'm using the D-pad here just to move the controller around. There's Steam starting up. I'm just going to let that go. So I have a number of things on here at the moment to demonstrate. We've got Dear Esther, King of the Monsters, Tato Legends, which is one of my favourite things at the moment, revisiting New Zealand Story and Rainbow Islands. Let's just close Steam. Revenge of the Titans, and a couple of fighting games as well. So let's just take a look at one of these. And you use the shoulder buttons to as your main sort of mouse controller. It loads really quickly. Let's see if we can get some volume up so we can hear what's going on. So it's running on a little tiny solid state drive. And we have a built-in liquid polymer battery. I think it's 3000 milliamps. So you can see it's absolutely pristine, and very much like if you were playing this on a PC. By far, I would say one of the most definitive handhelds for any kind of vintage or retro gaming. But that's not where the fun finishes. You see, this is quite capable of running much more complicated and modern games. Dear Esther is a fantastic little game that from the Chinese room that I've been wanting to really get my head into for a little while, and it turns out that playing on the train is almost the perfect opportunity to play it. It's extremely atmospheric with the headphones on, so let's just jump in. And of course, it's a fully fledged PC, so I'm running everything else that I would run on Windows 10, all in my own ecosystem. So I've got Outlook on there, OneNote, a bunch of whole other software. I can use it to VPN in, and it really has become my go-to console. Okay. So as amazing as this is, GPD, digital gamepad, you must also be judged. GPD WIN10. You are a small but impossible console. You're beautiful and you do fit inside the pocket of judgment. You are my everyday console. And in the words of your creator, Wade Wang, pick up the GPD Win, then you will feel everything is perfectly displayed. Let's just think about that. Here is your copy of Dear Esther. Wander with the lost and discover the mysteries of the island. Click here to describe, and thanks for liking, sharing and commenting. And until next time, keep your pockets packed.